wherever, whenever, and whoever you are, and welcome back to QuestJunkiesUK. Welcome back to the Humblewood and our adventure trial by fire. A massive welcome to everyone in the chat. Welcome in to everyone. Rishi jumping in there in the start. Thank you, mates. Looking forward to playing my first game of Call of Cthulhu with you over at Corsair's Cove for their Talk Like a Pirate Day charity event. And thank you for everyone jumping in there. Ritzka, enjoy that code. Yes, I see our Idle Champions friends jumping in there. Everyone, get yourself that Electrum chest code, exclamation mark. There it is. Thank you, Borofy. Check out the code there. Grab yourself that Electrum chest and enjoy. Everyone, if you haven't checked it out already, do jump in and check out our buddies over at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Play as all sorts of cool in-lore official characters from the Forgotten Realms and or various actual plays across the internet as you can enjoy this officially licensed strategy game. There's the link over there for free and a little code to get you set up with some goodies right out of the gate. Lucy's just coming through with a inspiration crystal from Maruk. Thank you so much. Let me grab that while we're waiting. Boop, there we go. Yes, everyone has a crystal they can choose to reroll. Thanks to you, kind folks, giving inspiration from the chat. Just one crystal per player, so they're all stocked up at the moment. But if you want to give a little disadvantage in there, that's also an option. But they usually come my way. So yeah, if that's how you're feeling, that's fine. If you want to support these heroes in their epic deeds. Speaking of said epic deeds, they have been questing through the Humblewood towards the older hearts lurking in the background behind me right there and on the main overlay as well, because they had to deliver an urgent message to the Birdfolk Council that the Scorched Grove is restless. This desolate wasteland of ash and fiery creatures is going beyond its bounds and setting fires, destroying towns. Our hometown of our friend Muruk here, Glimholm, was burnt to a cinder, as was the hillside perch of Ashbarrow. They have been sent to deliver the news of this dangerous situation to the Birdfolk Council that they can mobilize and help those refugees that have been forced onto the road towards the capital city and then beset by bandits. There is a bandit coalition that is leaping in here and causing all sorts of problems for the Humblewood Birdfolk and Humblefolk alike. Artist coming in with that 10-stream streak. Thank you so much, my friend. I hope everyone's jumping in and having a little time to enjoy and chill out. Hope you've got your drinks. And we shall be leaping back into Humblewood right here. Now, having encountered a few bandits themselves, they arrived at the great Evertree that is the Older Heart here. And travelling up to the canopy, they went to the district, the council district, and council plaza itself, where, actually, I just realised the frames are wrong here. Sorry, Jessica. I changed your token, but not your frame. Shame on me. Excuse me, friends.
Oh, shame.
I know. It's okay. Quickly. Just
ring the shame bell.
So professional. There you go. This is root.
Technical difficulties in a D&D stream? That never happened.
Unheard of.
Could you imagine?
First time.
Okay, so yes, they are. They went up to the council plaza and were told that they needed to have a letter of introduction from the magistrate to see the council. Seeing the magistrates, they were told that there is a very long waiting list of people with valid grievances that must be seen in order, unless they were willing to do a little favour for the magistrate, Gregor Thornspur. They were invited to travel down within the trunk of the World Tree here. Hey, thanks for the follow. And to deal down in the trunk market with a Gerbine gang, a little gang of mouse folk that have been robbing and causing troubles for the merchants in the trunk market. They hated Gregor's guts and a general anti-establishment kind of vibe in this whole thing. Like, I mean, I blame myself. I haven't RP'd the officials of Humblewood very nicely so far. All the magistrates have been pretty shady so far. Now, they retired, because it was the end of a long day after they had just arrived here in Alderhut, to the Feather's Friend, with its Corvum owner, Grek Klakabik, who spoke in rhyming couplets, and much to the delight of the bard. So much to the delight of the bard that I think Kit is going to spend today at the claws, perched at the claws of Mr. Klakabik, studying this prose. Unfortunately, Jazz is unable to join us today, but look forward to seeing them next time. Now, we join our friends here, Astuto, Thistlesnoots Murk, full of elderberry wine and beetle pie, as they settle down for a long rest. A rare thing here in QuestJunkiesUK, much sought after by many an adventuring party, as they settle down for a long rest here in the Humblewood, as we return to Trial by Fire. And welcome back. Now, we switch up our little Sirenscape sounds here. If you enjoy having music and sound effects in your games, wherever your players might be around the world, then please do check out our friends over at Sirenscape. Muruk. Flashing visions of silhouetted buildings, trees engulfed by red and orange flames. Your dreams have betrayed you and taken you back to the night Glimholm, your hometown on the edge of the scorched grove, burned to the ground. The sudden awakening, jerked into consciousness by the screams and slamming of doors and hastily gathered possessions cluttering together, folks scrambling for the trees away, some jumping into the fountain in the small town square, and your parents, strangely calm, coming back in through the door as you and siblings? I didn't hear if there were any siblings.
Nope, only child.
Okay. As you, blurry-eyed and wilted-combed, he's like a bedhead for a raptor, I'm not sure, came kind of stumbling down the stairs in confusion. Your parents came in through the door, not panicked or rushing around like the others, and you cannot help but dwell on their faces, silhouetted against the flames and the burning buildings outside, framed by the doorway, the dark outlines of your parents, Gru and Brunel. Just 4 points of red against the dark of the silhouettes. A vague, fleeting flicker of flame in their eyes, before they too seemed to realize the desperation and danger of the situation and asked you to quickly grab your things, grab that bundle that you always took with you into the forest. And joining the other members of Glimholm, you ran, dashing, avoiding collapsing walls, falling timbers, ash and sparks swirling. Amongst them, ember bats flitting this way and that, chasing panicked villagers and burning. This isn't it. You dream of striding through the interior of the Elder Hut, through this giant city, wood-shaped throughout, down one of the major branchways towards the trunk level. Just off the mainstay and on to Maker's Way. Clusters of artificers, tinkerers, crafters, cartwrights, all gathered here. The subtly funneled vapors and fumes of their artifice and creation funneled up and away safely into the exterior of the tree. You see mapaks, hedges, birdfolk, all sorts of people slowly putting down their tools, wiping paws and claws on leather aprons, beaks and mouths agape, as you, Thistlesnoot, with your new invention, stride along Maker's Way towards the illustrious guild of imaginative fabricators here in the Older Hut, that mecca of artifice and design. Surely you can only revel in the research funding that will be coming your way for this grand imagination, this grand design that you have created. And the various stallholders and workshop staff almost funnel in behind you until they can't hold themselves back anymore. They surge forward. You are swept up onto upraised arms and shoulders, riding a wave of adoration. You see, standing in front of the Inventors Guild, for short, because it's too long to read all that every time, the large, puffed-up chest and fluffed-out feathers of Hadley Stonecore, the Gallus head artificer.
Did she wake up? Is that what happened? Did she wake up in the middle of the
I
dream?
got so excited that my camera disconnected. What the heck?
I just
I
thought
don't
you were
serve
like, you
video
can't
camera."
see me.
What the heck?
Oh no.
You're
I
right.
got so stoked that my camera just went away.
Yes.
As well you should.
Yeah, it was like device not recognized, no camera for you.
Personally, I think it's the karma
Giant
bouncing
business.
back out since your character's getting an amazing dream and my character has the exact opposite.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's just balancing out the scales.
Yeah, when you get emotional damage, you get to keep your camera.
Mm-hmm. See?
There we go.
There you go. Okay.
Hey!
Back. There you go.
I just got so happy. It was like, you don't have a camera anymore.
And you see, as I said, yes, the head artificer, Hadley Stonecore, this Gallus with a puffed up chest, just pride at this newest visitor, this newest genius to join the ranks of their hallowed guild. And you see the accountants behind, just sacks and sacks of golden acorns, ready to give you the patronage you deserve.
Oh.
And your vision fades as you are swept inside and into the darkness
Wake up.
of those hallowed halls. Astuto. dripping water, echoing caves, you find yourself once more out in the Mockden Caverns, searching for Clifford, searching for your friend. You hear the rumble behind you of unstable tunnels and small sentient cave creatures doing home improvements, and with a ominous, there is a gust of wind down the passage with a almost smoky billowing of dust. Or is it ash? You're engulfed. And suddenly Clifford is there in front of you, barely visible in the fog-like cloud of ash. Their eyes glowing red, like your friend Kit had told you. And they're grasping your paws. I'm so glad we're together again. I'm so glad you understand. To be made anew, it all has to burn. And the ash engulfs you and darkens. And you wake up coughing with a dry throat from too much beetle pie.
I need like 12 cups of coffee.
Astuta's morning ritual. Well known.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the haste potion. That's
morning, everyone.
Morning. I actually do have a little bit of a morning ritual I need to do before I come. Who am I sharing a room with? Because we did the buddy system, right?
I think it was a couple of rooms there.
Mm-hmm.
Up to you.
Okay. I'll leave it up to the two of you. who would have shared a room with me? Excellent,
Yeah,
Brooke. So
probably rude as I try and get if oh my god, Kit was getting a free room, I'd try and just be like, and I am here as well.
2 beds. Why not?
I think you find Thistle you find that Kit has kind of like slept walk a little bit, and they're kind of like got you up on their paws. It's like up in there.
So yeah, after I kind of get cleaned up a little bit and stopped coughing, the studio's gonna sit down on his bed, and Maruka's probably seen this before, and where the studio's got to spend time looking over the book that has all of his arcane writings in it and trying to figure out what he's gonna have prepared and do. And then this time he does something a little extra. He reaches into a pocket and pulls out a small ball of the mud that he picked up at the side of the lake yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very obvious that he's been like playing with it. It's almost like clay-like at this point. And so he starts to mutter under his breath, and then he looks over at you and says, I'm gonna be a bit loud, not loud, but I'm gonna be talking to myself for a second. You okay with that?
Yeah, as long as you don't answer yourself, I'm fine.
Well, actually, I have to answer myself because I have to do the math problem, and then I have to like show my work and everything. But you don't have to worry about it.
You talk to your invisible friends. It's fine. I'll be here.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna help you with that. And for 10 minutes, Astuto is going to take this ball of mud, of clay, and slowly, as he's saying arcane phrases and numbers, is going to start to fashion it into a real crude but serviceable tiny little moth. And at the very end of 11 minutes, he burns some incense and takes the incense stick and almost like uses it to light one of the wings, and the whole thing bursts into flames for a second, and as soon as the flames die down, there is now a real tiny little moth sitting on his hand. It is this fat, yellow and yellow and pink moth with fuzzy just all over it. The body is so fat that you don't think the wings could actually make this creature fly. And even as the studio goes, okay, Maple was it? Yeah, okay, good to meet you. And the little moth seems to nod a little bit and then start to fly. And you're positive for the first like 3-4 seconds, this moth is not going to fly. These wings are flapping and
by the laws of nature.
and then somehow this adorable yellow and pink fuzzy moth just flaps its way up and like somersaults and curly cues and then lands on top of Astudo's head in between his two big ears and goes, my invisible friends are no longer invisible. Meet Maple.
Is that a snack for later? Is it maple flavored?
No, I would not recommend eating him because then I would have to do all that over again, and I only have so much incense. No, it's my familia.
Oh, I've heard of those.
Yeah.
All right. So do they talk? Do I say hi to it? Do I ignore it? Is it like a pet?
It is not pet. It can't talk to you directly, but I can kind of communicate with it. It can kind of, we kind of got a thing.
Unless a sub or gifted sub spins the wheel and you get Disney Princess. just saying, on the off
So I'm kind of. I mean, if you want to. So yeah, I mean, we can like telepathically communicate, and it's technically celestial. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna make it a fae. It's technically a fae, so
Nice.
it's not really a moth. It's a fae, and so it's smarter than your average moth. And so yeah, I just thought it would be useful to have a couple of extra eyes and ears around, especially with everything that we've been doing. And I felt bad for taking so long to find Clifford, and so I thought I'd do something constructive with my angst.
And you made a yellow and pink bug.
Well, yeah, what did you want me to make?
No,
like a...
no. Just I don't question what wizards do. Just clarifying. Just
I think Maruk's morning voice is deeper than his normal voice. I didn't know I could go any deeper. But...
I mean, I could always ask Maple to come back as something else, but then again, I gotta once again do the whole thing with the incense, and so you gotta give me some time. But but Maple, I think you're adorable, and he's gonna flap those giant fuzzy wings that don't seem to be big enough for his body in appreciation.
I think when Maruk mentioned it maybe being a snack, it kind of like buzzed, kind of lazily kind of flapped around and kind of went behind your ear, and it kind of looks like a bow. It's like a ribbon on your ear there.
And yes, for those that are wondering, this is I'm basing this off of a fuzzy maple moth, which are real things.
I love those moths.
They're amazing. Just one of these days, go watch. There's a video online of moths taking off, and the fuzzy maple moth is the first thing that you'll see. And I'm not lying. When you watch this thing, it's defying the laws of gravity. It's amazing.
Sounds great.
Dryocampa rubicunda.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, is that the Latin?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay.
I was not going to name it something I couldn't pronounce.
Yes, Maple's good. Maple's good.
Okay, well now the Maple's here, and we should get some coffee. I could really use some coffee. I had not a good sleep.
I second that motion. I shall try your coffee.
Trust me, you're gonna like it, especially after the 5th cup.
You head down to a much quieter, more empty kind of tap room, which, because there's only the guests down here now that were staying overnight, and our innkeeper Grek Clackabeak is kind of bustling around and serving the breakfast that's there. Let's go over to our buddies at Don John and see. Is that which one I want? No, it's not funny. See what's on the table for breakfast here. Okay. It is a thin porridge with fried potatoes and flatbreads, and there are cherries on the side.
Interesting.
So, Maruk is going to reach inside of his bag, grab some of his fresh herbs that he usually keeps on him and grabs. He's going to grab some, like, you know, a little rosemary, okay, a little bit of garlic, okay, and he kind of like, and he kind of like, just kind of like, basically like looks around a little bit, and then he like, druidcraft, like kind of like roasts the everything, and then he just kind of like, he takes it in his hands and he does this over his food, and then he does it over everybody else's food.
Yep.
Believe me, it'll be better.
Okay, I was gonna use a little bit of prestidigitation, but I trust you, and I'll take a big giant scoop of porridge.
Excellent.
Whoa! I was expecting this to taste like nothing, but this tastes like something much better. Wow. Rosemary did that?
To be fair, yeah, herb porridge does actually sound pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
If you overboil the porridge, it takes away most of the flavor. So if you add herbs to it, it makes it more of a savory porridge than it does a sweetened porridge.
Nice.
And that's a real life cooking thing.
Have that one for
Love
free,
it.
everybody. Okay. Right. Thank you. So, yes, you're sitting around enjoying your enhanced porridge experience. And what is the plan? What are you going to do about this Gerbine gang? Sleepy Snoot.
All right, so while Murk is basically looks
morning.
at Thistle Snoot and just staring daggers at the very pleasant person in the morning.
Did all of you have the best sleep ever? I love this place. That looks so delicious. Can I have some? Is there enough to share?
Oh yeah, we got you your own. And no, bad sleep, but hey, say hi to Maple.
Hello, Maple. Aren't you the prettiest pretty ever in the whole
They're
wide
not
world?
a snack. They are a friend.
Thank you.
But they're too pretty to be a snack. How'd you meet?
I summoned them from the Feywild.
That's where Kit's from. Does Kit know Maple?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to assume that everybody from the Feywild knows each other. That'd be like, does everybody in the wood know each other? But
Well, that's
mean-
true. But
you never know. I'll have to ask.
Wild's more than just the carnival.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
a bit bigger than that, is my understanding. I think the carnival started there and then goes other places, but the Feywild is it's like the wood. It's I don't know. I've never gone myself. I've only studied it in books, but it's where Maple's from.
I'd say Astuto and Maruk, you've probably, from different angles, like, the arcane side and the druidic side, there are definitely places in the wood that are so, just such intense concentrations of natural wonder, where the boundaries do tend to blur a little bit. By all reports.
The veil is a little thin.
Indeed.
Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna go check one of those places out, but I need a little bit more protection before I go there because I've heard some weird things can happen. But it's not what we're talking about here.
Can we
Today
have the compulsory Maple the Moth on Thistle Snoot's nose with cross-eyed looking at it?
And absolutely, I think when Thistle Snoot gives this effusive praise, Maple and very eventually on the nose
Yeah.
to basically do the hey, look at my wings and look at me fully,
You're so pretty. Yes, you are. Maple, may I stroke your fluff, or would that be bad?
Is Maple okay with? I mean, they're my familiar, so as long as they're okay with it, I'm okay with it.
Appears so.
Just give a little.
Yep, just be gentle. They don't have a lot of stamina, let's say.
I just give the most delicate stroke. But it's like, oh,
You
this is
come
gonna
off with
be the
a
best day.
the tiniest little bit of moth dander, and then Maple back onto my head.
Alien anti-hero, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very much.
Dang, yeah.
So yes, you as you stroke Maple Thistlesnoot, there's a little like tinkling in the air, a little faint on the edge of hearing, and a little sparkle of dust. And you think there might be not enough for any of you to use. We're not harvesting the familiar here, but there might be a little bit of pixie dust at play here, which might be supporting those wings.
Oh, I can't put him in a jar and shake him?
I mean, you can, but we're both gonna be very upset if you do.
Oh, Robert Jack's natural one, bad luck.
Also, if you put him in a jar and shake him too hard, he's gonna suddenly look like the owl that he's based on. So please don't. And then he'll go because the owl is also very.
It's an owl grenade?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Grenade implies that it will do damage once exploding, and this will only just go away.
An owl firework.
As
Nah,
Maruk
it's
says
neither gonna
each
be-
of these, is this scribbling in a like, Keep going, keep talking.
Those are other ideas, but not for Maple, not for Maple. No, speaking of ideas, so we gotta go find a whole bunch of Gerbine who are causing trouble. Do we have any information on like who these Gerbine are, what they're doing, and where and when and why and how?
Well, usually the gangs or groups, guilds, whatever they want to call themselves, usually
Yes, the
towards the lower
guilds.
parts of the tree. That's where they usually resides. It's always under half. So, as long as we go around there, start asking questions, I could.
I think we should go down to the trunk market and see the guilds, because that's where the guilds are, and I think that would just be a great place to be. I just am feeling the vibes right now of the trunk market.
I mean, is the trunk market one of the places the Gerbine have been causing problems? Because we could always start there.
Probably.
That's what you were told the day before. Also, by the way, Clackabeak comes by and he's like, don't be so quick to point the blame down in the roots. That's such a shame. There's just as much crime way up high. It's just that it wears a shirt and tie.
That was an amazing rhyme.
Yeah, that's true, but we've been told to go after some Gerbine who are down low in the trunk, so they might be still wearing a shirt and tie, but they're still doing bad stuff, I guess.
We reserve the right to make our own decision. They're not good. They're not bad. They just need to be questioned.
And stopped as quickly as possible so that we can go talk to some people and get them to help out all the Humblewood. So whatever we do, it's gotta be fast.
Yeah, but when I say that, people think I'm going to go kill them. So that's why I say talk.
Oh, okay, we start with the talking.
Clackabeak
Okay.
eyes slightly wide. Just like, should I keep your rooms for this day's eve? Are you planning to stay or fit to leave?
It's the best night's sleep I've ever had my entire life, Clackerby. I would move in if I could. I can't speak for Kit, but I think I speak for everyone here when I say we have never had a better night.
Oh, keep the compliments coming. They never get old. Just pay up front. 1 night, 1 gold.
Oh, you know what? I'll give you 2.
Thank you.
Which will cover for me and Maruk.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah.
Thank you, Thistlesnoot.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, you just
We
need to,
appreciate your generosity.
you just need to reaffirm each morning.
Yeah,
whether
I mean,
you're-
even
whether
if
you're-
I've stolen plenty of gold. I haven't. Oh, did you just take it out of my thing? Because I also just took it out of my thing.
I didn't,
so I'll
I
just
didn't.
put it back.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I imagine
That's
even
funny.
the quickest that we could get this thing fixed and then talk to the magistrate and then get to talk to everybody, we're still gonna need some place to sleep tonight.
True. But I have an idea. And Maruk's gonna look around to see if there's any potential prying ears or onlookers
Give me
for our little
perception.
group. I can do that. I hope I do it well.
Can Maple fly on over to Maruk and land on his crest and give him and use the help action and give him help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it you're
Cool.
trying to do, Maruk?
Sweet, I get advantage. Here we go.
Guidance.
And guidance. Okay, cool.
I didn't hear what you were trying to do, but I'll help you.
Okay,
Looking for suspicious folks in the tavern.
Oh, yeah, guidance.
so I'm gonna do that. Okay.
I was confused by my electrum.
And then I gotta roll a
so I have removed them. I paid
D4.
in electrum.
Gotcha.
That is a 16.
Hey.
Oh, nice. Okay. You look around, and there are a few, probably predominantly humble folk. So like the mammal type of the locals here, various types, and a few bird folk as well who look like they're in from perches on other parts of the wood. There's one particularly kind of nautical looking kind of sea. Dog is the wrong word. sea humble folk, sea servant, and you see that Clackabeak goes over to them and says, "You're looking well, my friend. It's good to see you over this end. How has it been? I've heard things are quite absurd, but I hope business is good over at Tequila Mockingbird." Sorry, we had a one-shot roulette in the Humblewood, and Dead Aussie Gamer named a tavern over in Salter's Port, the port humble folk place, Tequila Mockingbird.
That's amazing, and I love it. And we're going there tonight to celebrate when we take care of everything.
Motion seconded.
I don't think this adventure doesn't go over to the coast, I'm afraid. But
They don't have another expansion store here. That's interesting.
well, I mean, if we have enough time, we can certainly send things in that direction. Although there was an organized crime like ring in the back room, which is where they went to get their mission. And they actually
Maybe that's where the Gerbine are. Maybe we could put these two things together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That was back in the day. Back in the day when my I had the effects, like the over effect old camera thing, and
I miss that camera.
right, it was fun, and I shook the hell out of them because they were, one of them got Disney Princess, and they were asking directions from a giant dragonfly in the mock fields, the swamps that you guys went to, and I just suddenly just changed into this. It was like a dragonfly that moves with when I was moving, but it was just like a dragonfly head on with my eyes and my mouth on the front.
Oh god, that's terrifying sounding.
Now that's half a
Love it.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh no. Alien Antihero, we got if it's we're talking the bird folk of Humblewood here, so we'll stick with Atticus Finch there. Perfect.
Maruk,
So-
anybody looking at us, or you good to say you're playing?
Just it's like regular
I'm-
folk. No one's suspicious.
And Maruk just kind of leans and he's like, "All right, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to take this scroll that we got, right? It's got the signature and the stamp on it, right? Okay. What I'd like to do is go find the Gerbine and feel them out, see if they're actually, hurting people or doing bad things, or if it's just the whatever his name, just, not liking them. From there, make our decision. If we like them, get somebody to forge a document for us with this dude's signature and stamp on it, so we don't need his approval to go see the council, right?
Mhm.
Or something
I could
else,
probably
and
make a copy of a stamp.
then kind of go from there. Now, if they do turn out to be needing taken care of, we can approach that when we get there.
Okay, so like you said, talk first, swords later.
Yeah.
Pick them off the tree.
I mean, hey, maybe we convince him to go somewhere else. Maybe there's a middle ground.
I mean, if I've learned anything, it's talk first and not forcefully, because they run.
You think Thistlesnoot and Maruk, the problem here is going to be just they haven't found employment or anything here. You know, if they've come with all the refugees that have been flooding in from the fire, you know, running away from the wildfires and everything, and you think that with your connections, like Thistlesnoot with the guild, and Maruk with there's a large tenders HQ here, which has a big fungal grove, which always needs tending, and Thistlesnoot even with the church as well. There'd always be spots for people to be employed there. So yeah, if you think if you can have a decent rapport or a conversation with them, then there would be opportunities.
Yeah, one of my thoughts was, I was thinking, now that you've mentioned it, was that after we go eventually talk to them, I was going to go to my tenders and be like, hey, if we like them, have a conversation. So
yeah, Tenders HQ is also in the trunk level near the trunk market.
What we could also do, if these are a whole bunch of people who got displaced because their town caught fire, maybe we can bring them with us so that they could say what's been going on, because then we just have more people like, hey, this is such a serious situation. Look, people have had to turn to crime, except not bad crime, which is why they're just here.
Maybe the riots they've been having are being like, hey, pay attention to all the ember backfires.
What if we brought like a representative instead of the entire people? Because who knows, they might turn on them and be like, oh, you're the criminals, get them.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I like your plan, and I like that it's flexible enough that we just figure it out as we go, because a lot of this is going to depend on whether these are folk who are going to want to talk or they're going to want to fight.
Okay, speaking of flexibility, I have to go see my parents first.
Your mom and dad are here?
Yeah.
Can we meet them?
Do you want us to meet them?
Yeah, they need to know I have friends.
Okay. Hey, I know you didn't talk very much about your family when everybody found out about mine, but if there's stuff you want us to support you on, you don't necessarily have to give us details, but like, I'm willing to drop so much for you.
Just, they're very parenty. They're very parenty. They're huggers. They just hug, and they're affectionate.
Okay, I'll make sure that Maple is not in a place where they can get squished.
Good idea. And he pushes away the rest of his food and is like, all right, I'm done.
Okay, so
I'm done, but can I get this to go?
Yes, you get an interesting, like overgrown acorn cup contraption from the guild, which has like a German Stein, like flip top.
Oh,
nice.
Dude, an acorn Stein sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Filled with coffee, I'm even more here for it.
Oh God, no.
Coffee, Irish coffee. You're
Kahlua.
Porque Nolos, all these things. Okay, thank you. All right. Do we want to go see? Sorry, go ahead.
Please.
Do we want to go see parents first, or we want to go do the market first?
I think, the market's on the way, so we could probably do market, then parents, then figure it out from there.
Yeah, Maruk, they're probably in the roots.
Yeah.
Down in the bottom level.
Yep. So that's what I was figuring. Market, parents, contacts.
Okay. So, gathering up your things and sweeping up and out of the door, as you fling it open, you see the bustling city, which barely ever goes to sleep. Just different folks going about their different pieces of business, and the Feather's friend here is almost abrupting, like right directly onto the mainstay. The mainstay is the major branchway, which is carved and shaped down, spiraling throughout the whole tree from the canopy down to the roots. And you join the flow of traffic, humble folk, some with giant lizards and oversized stag beetles with packs loaded up on their backs, secured with netting, moving through the crowds, lumbering along this, which is one of the few branchways that is large enough for this, volume of traffic. And you go into the flow of people and spiraling down towards the lower levels. As you descend into the trunk level, you are accosted with the sight of the trunk markets displayed, spread out below you from the mainway here, from the mainstay here, sorry. And you can see the vast plaza of shops and wood-shaped buildings with their various shop fronts and wares displayed, and then the elaborate layers of mezzanines up above that, which have a mixture of tenant buildings for people to live, and other shops up there. The main difference between the canopy and trunk markets, the canopy market is more for adventuring goods and that kind of more day-to-day things. It feels the wrong way around. This is how it is in the literature. And then the trunk market down here is a bit more interesting, like harder to find things and bits and bobs here. You think I just saying it out loud? I had a problem when I was reading it. Saying it out loud, I think I might homebrew that the opposite way around. It feels like the canopy market should be like luxury goods and carpets and magic items and things, and the trunk market should be more day-to-day, like foodstuffs and adventuring items. And it just,
I mean, that makes sense because
right,
the council and
thematically
house
that
are up by
seems
the
right,
canopy.
all the manor houses and everything are up in the canopy and out in the branches district out there.
I guess I get it if they wanted you to just like fly in and then fly out and leave, and maybe getting
True.
down is like more of a hassle.
True.
If you are a bird.
Well, although actually there is a certain amount of gliding that goes on amongst the boughs and the branches up in the canopy, but actually within the trunk, flying and gliding is reserved just for the perch guard in emergencies. So there, you actually, all the bird folk you see are actually walking around here. And
No shade to Maruk, who is a big bird, but I'm guessing they all look kind of goofy, just like waddling along.
Yeah, switch over. Said Older Heart. Here we go, folks. So we're over here in the trunk section here, as we've come spiraling down. Oh man, these pictures remind me so much of those. I don't know if they were how popular they were in the States. Do you know the Brambley Hedge series of books?
No.
Okay, there's a series of
Sounds
novels.
so British.
I think it's one per season, I think, if memory serves. It's called Brambley Hedge. It's just all about mice and mice and hedgehogs and things living in these. And they had these amazing cutaway illustrations. There's one that always sticks in my mind. It was this big tree stump that was next to a stream, and it was a cutaway of how it was all, all the cogs and clockwork and things was all linked together to do milling and like butter churning, and had all the you could see all the mechanisms. How there was a water wheel down in the plunge pool from the stream, and yeah, it was fun.
Well, I wish that was here.
Yeah.
As a kid.
That definitely exists
Yeah.
in Humblewood somewhere.
For kids who want to be that person who takes apart their clock, but that actually doesn't want to, like, break their clock, to be able to be like, ooh,
Yep.
that'd be so cool.
Right. I mean, the other one that stands in memory is the Richard Scarry books had all the different mechanisms and ways of like things, how things work and things like that. Again, animals, anthropomorphized animals, all doing that. Okay, so yeah, here you can see down at the trunk level, the trunk market's there, and you are heading down there. Are you going to be questioning the stall owners and just generally investigating around the market?
Maruk's just gonna kind of keep an eye out, kind of using his more of his semi-predatory senses to kind of like look to see where like thieves would be, or people who are scouting for possible like marks, maybe even some shady deals going on, kind of like looking for that, oh, we're not doing anything wrong, but we are, kind of, thing.
Okay. So yeah, everyone, you can either give the help action and help each other, or each do it, like make it as a group check for the investigation check here.
Group check is fine with me. How does that work?
Yeah, I'm glad to roll an investigation check. I'm pretty good at investigating. I'm not very good talking, so.
Okay.
I'm not an investigator, so I will guide myself.
Okay.
And I will help.
Oh, dang. I investigated the shit out of that.
Excellent.
That is a natural 20.
Hey!
You gotta focus on those phoenixes fly.
Nice.
Yeah.
I only got a 12.
Dragon
You-
rolled out. Okay.
Yeah.
I got an 18.
Oh, did you get the thumper child?
I did.
Nice.
Excellent. Timberchild is the best. I was so pleased with him in the D&D movie. It was great.
Right?
Yes.
I love the lore behind him that almost nobody knows.
Mm-hmm. It's sad lore though, and everyone just wants to be happy for the biggest dragon boy.
Right?
No, I've had the Dice of True Color on for forever, and I can't go off of them. They're just so nice.
So
I love these lava dice, though. They're cool.
What were our totals?
18.
18?
13.
13?
21.
Nice.
I was
Okay.
expecting Maple to help a little bit more, but he was literally born an hour ago, and so I shouldn't be so hot.
So, average of 17. That's pretty good. Pretty good. We do actually have an official DC on this check, so I can actually check it out here.
Ooh.
Inquiring
Did we
around the
win?
markets will require a DC 13 investigation check. So yes, you did.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you start to make inquiries and ask around, and you quickly find the merchants that were affected by this. Let's see. One is a is it chandler? Like candle maker? Yes. One is a chandler, which you kind of
Chandler Bang.
makes sense. Yes, it is a hedge chandler, and they kind of have some candles like on spines, like on the back, like they're kind of displaying some of their wares on their spines.
Cool.
Please tell me there's art for this.
There isn't. No, I just made that off the top of my head. Sorry.
Oh, that's so cool! Someone make art.
But then their name is Bink, absolutely. It kind of figures that maybe down in the roots there's less development down there. Although you have heard, Muruk, last time you were here, you have heard that the settlements down in the roots are being more recognized and supported better than they had been in the past, and they did start to have cold light lanterns and things being installed down there, and there is actually access to water pumps down there now, which at first there wasn't. It was just the refugees and folks just filling out the space as best they could. And there's a perch guard like in the central part of the routes, but they don't patrol nearly as much as they do up here. And again, here you can see them in their gleaming armor and their cool beak-fitted helmets, moving around proudly in the space here. And you think that perhaps with this good investigation check, that if they've robbed this chandler, then potentially they're in a more dilapidated part of the routes, which would be a good place to hide out.
When they say, out of curiosity, when they say robbed, was it for money? Was it for items? Or
goods were stolen? Yeah, goods were stolen
Goods.
here. And I think the other one is like a produce market stall, various fungi and different vegetables and berries collected from the surrounding forests that was taken. And you hear that, as you had already suspected, that it was some of these new refugees that were And there's a strange mix of kind of emotions in play here. There is a sympathy for their plight, but then just the outrage and the disappointment of having been targeted by that. So you learn that these are definitely down in the roots. And then I'll say with that 17, that's a nice high. You got over a 15 on the roll there, so you've done more than just pass it. One of the merchants had heard that these were refugees from some little-known place out west called Glimholm.
We know where that is.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Well, I hope you catch them. They've got nothing but problems around here, running about here. I mean, well, we feel sorry for them. They're driven from their homes and the like. But you gotta make honest means and look after yourselves as best you can. You can't just go stealing.
I wish you success in your day and your business. And Merc just turns and walks.
Astuto's following you and is kind of prattling. I mean, he's not wrong. This is not the way to go about it. It looks like they're just taking stuff. So I doubt they're just robbing. It looks like they're trying to, make ends meet and things. So there's at least that. But they shouldn't be. That's just, two wrongs don't make a right.
Merc stops for a second and goes,
when we come down to it, really.
You're right.
They lost their homes. Maybe they have a different concept of ownership. Maybe they were just borrowing something and replaced it with something that they found of equal value. Or maybe they were taking something to make it better and improve it.
regardless, it needs to be made right. So Murik actually turns around. I'll be right back. Walks up back to the hedge. It's like, so how much did they steal? Like how much, we'd go with currency worth here. Like how much was it?
He kind of rubs his chin and he's like, oh, I'd say in total it would have been about, good 7 golds worth.
Were you hit the hardest out of all the thefts?
Oh, that's a total of all the different bits and bobs that were taken. It was a bit from here, a bit from there. There was a good chunk of food taken, yes.
So how much do you think you lost in this theft?
Oh, it would have been at least 5 golds worth.
Well, in that case, and Murik pulls out 5 gold, puts it down, slides it across. There.
That's very kind. Appreciated. But and that compensates for last time. But what if there's to be a next time?
There
Okay,
won't be
buddy,
a
that
next
sounds
time.
like a scam.
Oh no, I'm not asking for pre compensation or anything like that. No.
I've seen this kind of swindle before. You leave my good friend Baruch alone. He's doing a nice thing.
Oh, I'm just hoping you're asking questions with the ends of putting a stop to this.
Oh, we are. There will not be a next time.
Give him any more of your money.
Then he slides a gold back. Then that's very appreciated. This is actually how much they stole.
There we go.
How much was it
Alright.
real?
It was 4 golds worth.
Yeah. Murik was just on 5 gold. All right, whatever. Here.
Yeah.
Now, which other merchants were affected? The produce and anybody else?
Yeah, if you minus 2 golds, you could return if you want to return it. Asuto Thistlesnoot, Murik seems very determined to compensate these merchants.
Is
I'm
Baruch
waiting.
rich?
You know what? I appreciate what he's doing. I just don't know if we're gonna have enough money. And Astuto is waiting for a moment where Maruk is he's able to catch up to Maruk enough to actually have a conversation, because I feel like Maruk is just like, all right,
Yeah.
and now I'm going.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And just like catching up is gonna be hard.
Fair.
Hey.
What?
You suddenly taking this very personally.
They... I used to live in Glimholm.
Oh.
These are my friends, my family, my people. So I'm going to do what I need to do to fix this. It's not their fault that whatever happened. They fell on hard times. They did what they need to do. So if I can, I'm going to fix what I can.
Well, listen, I'm sorry that you feel like responsible or, indebted or whatever. In a weird way, it's a good thing, because if we're trying to talk to these folk and get them to stop and help them do this honestly, well, then coming from you is probably going to be a lot easier than coming from me. So we have a better shot at doing this, right?
I hope so. I
Let's
really
be
hope so.
honest. These merchants are trying to take you for a ride. And I'm not just saying that, but like, that one lied to you to get extra money. And honestly, 4 gold isn't that much. You can buy a whistle for 4 gold. So what, they stole a whistle? Come on.
This'll Snoot, have you... How long have you spent in markets?
It's what I do. It's my job.
Yeah, but don't you trade?
Before I quit.
Don't you usually do, like, trading and stuff? Do you actually... Because 4 gold is a lot of gold.
Not really.
You know what? None of this is the point. None of this is the point. The point is, Maruk, this is gonna be difficult for you, but if you can talk to them, we'll back you up. We have a better shot at getting these folks to stop.
You know what? You know what a horse costs? Like 50 gold. A dog is less than 30.
Why are you buying dogs and horses? I'm just
when I need to
Carry your
negotiate
stuff
for
around
animals,
so you could go to the market.
I will totally bring you with me, Thistle Snoot. Until then, I have to. And then Mark just whoop.
See, there he goes again. All right, come on.
And by the time it's all said and done, it's like, recuperate, whoever, lost money, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Because you're compensating these folks, they open up a bit more. And when you're talking about, you mentioned it's from Glimholm, one of them actually has heard that the refugees from Glimholm took up residence in the area of the roots known as Pesselhaven. And both of you have heard of Pesselhaven. This is unfortunately a failed attempt to develop the roots section of the Elder Heart. There was a large swath of the roots that was dedicated to fungus cultivation, and all of these fungus farms sprung up, saturating the markets and making it basically worthless, and most of them closed down again. And Thistlesnoot, you have heard of Pesselhaven because it's a good place to get rare fungus and reagents, and some interesting creatures can be found in amongst those abandoned fungal farms down there. Maruk, you know all about it because the tenders are very focused here on keeping away invasive species of fungus that would damage the tree and cultivating the ones that would support and nourish the tree. There is actually a large part of that fungal farming area is where the white kind of mycea of a fungus that's actually growing on the surface comes down and hangs through the ceiling and earth of the tunnels like grass, like this kind of white grass hanging down. And that actually helps break up the soil and nourish the tree. So that's one of the good ones. But now that it's been completely abandoned, for the most part, then it has become more of a problem again. And there are, as I said, there's invasive species and some strange creatures. Although the Tender's belief and that of the Bird Council on their guidance and counsel is that some of the creatures and things that are down there in the tunnels were actually here before Humblefolk or Birdfolk were, so they leave them there. They just stay away. They don't try and eradicate them or anything, just because that's the natural way of it and how it was. When just a quick history lesson of the tree here, when they actually discovered the tunnels and everything that was being done down here, and some of the gangs and rebels and things that were down here, the Bird Council actually tried to have them use the wood shapers that they used to make buildings and things and tunnels here, and the branchways and paths and roads. They tried to have the wood shapers close up the tunnels and just completely seal off that whole region, but the tree wouldn't allow it. So the ever, I think it's called an ever tree is the type of tree, but the older heart has to be willing to allow, and it's like a it's like the stone singers in the Rings of Power. These wood shapers actually get the permission from the older heart and work with the older heart so that it isn't damaged and put in danger at all when they're making buildings and roadways and things. And the older heart actually refused to let them seal up these tunnels because it wanted to take in these refugees and help shelter them. So, if you're gonna just head further down.
Yeah, I mean, Maruk's like, he knows this place better than the rest of the group, so he's gonna be like, so you guys okay with just let's head down there and let's see what we find.
Yeah.
Thistle Snoot just wants to check and see if anyone is looking at her like she's famous. I'm sure no one is, but she is just looking around like,
yeah, absolutely.
Was it a prophetic dream?
You do think, I mean, if you visited the Inventors Guild with your ideas, there is a chance of getting some of that grant, that research grant money. But
bold of you to assume she has ideas.
But it would be it would not be on a level that perhaps you dreamed of.
Yeah,
they're not in this area though, right? That's an after this task is done.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that is Maker's Way, and everything is off the market here, so it's just nearby here for later. Okay, you head back towards the mainstay, and Maruk, you know that the mainstay finishes in the central part of the routes, which is called the Underfall. We can see it on the map there. If I zoom in, we can give you there's an actual picture here. Gives you a kind of idea. So yeah, the Underfall is like a central hub part directly beneath the main trunk of the tree. It's where the mainstay and any other branchways finish. And then from there, it's just tunnels and artificially created spaces through the roots and into the earth. And it is said to connect with natural caves deeper down. There are actually miners and going after resources and gems and things down here as well. I think I'd say reading that the whole Older Heart guide yesterday is like, I just want to do a whole campaign just in the tree. Yeah. There's like so much potential, and things will have to just kind of drift
well, yeah,
by.
It's a huge city.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Waterdeep of this setting, right?
Do we work with our buddy Joey Hake and do a version of Dragon Heist? Dragonfly Heist?
Alderwood Heist.
Yes.
Okay, so
I have a very silly question, John.
Oh, I love those.
Do the humble folk have leather?
Yes, but I'm going to say it's cured bark.
Cured bark. Okay.
But yes, mechanically the same. Yeah.
Okay. So I was going to say, while Maruk is running around, if Astuto and Thistle Snoot are just kind of stuck in the middle, Thistle Snoot would start opening up her pack and going through like everything she's made to try and explain economics to Astuto and be like, see this drum? I made it from a hollowed out tree that I found. And then I scraped this bark to cure it. It cost me literally nothing. Except time. It always costs time. Don't forget to pay yourself. But
Yeah, time is valuable.
I sell it for 6 gold. Now, if somebody else made one and they wanted to sell it to me, I would only pay them 3 because they're a stranger. And what mine is better. But then I buy it from somebody and I resell it for 6. Maybe I know it's really high quality though, and I buy it for 4 and then sell it for 6. Maybe they can sign it. And then just going through with like my fishing rod, my ball bearings, all of that, and like how Maruk's getting scammed.
And Astuto will listen to all of it, but the only things that he latches onto is when you start to talk about if you get when you get specifically into like the accounting of it, of like, this is how much I paid for this, and this is how much I paid for this, and this is how this works. And he's like, well, wait a second, you forgot to carry the 4 over here. And that thing, I mean, if you bought that in a larger quantity and you're able to get a discount off of that, then that's going to help. You're not going to be in the red over here. You don't have to sell those at a loss just to make sure that you're going to get those at a... This is all
That's called
really
buying
confusing.
in bulk, and you usually only sell that to people in the biz.
I mean, the math is real easy. I don't understand how you make a drum, but I understand the profitability.
There needs to be a wizard subclass that's accountant.
I figure that's the order of scribes. Or all
Ash.
wizards, really.
God, this
Listen,
is
I
what
love
we
the
miss
order
her
of
calling
scribes.
as a knowledge cleric because she's dumb as a bag of sand.
Listen, sometimes knowledge and intelligence are not the same thing.
True.
In fact, often knowledge and intelligence.
Yeah.
Double checks. Is Ak Inc. existent in the Wackyverse? It hasn't appeared yet. It hasn't
I have
appeared
not
yet.
included those spells in my playbook. But they do have some fun ones.
They do.
Especially for bards.
We got a couple of fun wizard ones, too. When we see airships, then we'll know.
Indeed. We have
All right.
There have been airships, but they haven't been Ak Inc. Branded yet.
Now that incite greed spell is fun.
Yes, it is, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Maruk, we're going to follow your lead down to this Pestilhaven place, okay? And I'm just going to keep my head on a swivel because I don't know what I'm doing and where I'm going, but I trust you, and I'm just going to keep an eye out for stuff, okay?
Appreciated. And as we
So
get
we're
closer,
going to
you
the
see
market and then getting parents.
you see as they're getting closer to like the roots, Maruk's just okay. All right. How do I look? Am I druidy enough?
I
You
will
are
shine
majestic.
up my shield and kind of shine it up like a mirror so I can show you what you look like.
I will,
How pretty you are.
any tiny little imperfection, I'm going to prestidigitate away. So like the mud that got on Maruk's shoes, gone. That one little piece of thread that's hanging out, nope, gone. The weird stain from the coffee that I accidentally spilled on his back because I tripped because there were roots, gone. All of it. You are impeccable.
Maruk looks in the. Oh, thank you. Oh yes, I look murderous. I like it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rejoining the mainstay, you curl down through what's that part called? The bright, hang on, it's on the map here, over here. The Bright Hollows, there we go. You go down through the Bright Hollows, which is a section of the trunk where there are a great deal of boreholes and knots and open sections, including this one with this beautiful fountain. Look at that gorgeous little spot, and has a beautiful view. And there's like, it's like one of those old knot holes, which is like open to the exterior, and so you can see the beautiful view out across the trees of the wood from that direction there. And there's this beautiful area of the trunk where you're going down, winding along the mainstay, with these beautiful beams of natural sunlight coming in through the trunk, through all these various knot holes and gaps in the bark that illuminate the whole place. But then it starts to get much less traffic as the mainstay goes past ground level and down into the lower parts. You are joined by several humble folk, almost no bird folk down this direction as you descend into the roots. Arriving in the Underfall, that central kind of hub area, you see the Perch Guard outpost here, and making quick inquiries there, you are pointed in the direction of Pesselhaven and the tunnels that lead in that direction to where the refugees of Glimholm have apparently set themselves up. And you start to head in that direction. It is a very different vibe down here. There are some small shops and buildings here, but they're not so much wood-shaped into the trunk and the roots of the tree, more that they are collections of rough stones and boards and things kind of put together down here, kind of makeshift buildings. And the folk moving around don't make as much eye contact, and they're kind of like shifting around here. And you move away from this central hub area out into the tunnels, and there are, as you had heard, Muruk, these cold light lanterns, much more intermittent than higher up in the higher levels of the tree, but there is enough light to guide you as you make your way through, just keeping an eye about you. There's occasional shadows that kind of observe you moving along and kind of disappear off down side alleyways and things as you approach. And you find yourself moving from hollowed roots into carved earth and areas of chiseled stone. And it breaks through into a series of natural caverns, which is Pesselhaven. And you see, nearest the entrance here towards the main area, there is still an active fungal farm. And you can see various humble folk toiling away, tending to the various species that are being cultivated. And there are some lightly armored, just kind of carrying clubs and things, just security for, facing the exterior, not there's no kind of forced labor or anything here. They are employees of the farm. But there's guards kind of on the front making sure that there's no raids or any funny goings on from the shadier parts of the groups down here. Asking one of these guards, who kind of scowls at you as you approach, you ask where the Glimholm refugees are, and you're pointed further along. And after a couple of these farms, it quickly falls into complete disrepair, and there are wild, tangled groves of various fungi and different species starting to be evident and winding their way through. I do love DMing in these post Baldur's Gate 3 days. It's those wilder sections of the Underdark in Baldur's Gate 3. Just various colours of mushroom, but not so bright, nice colours like our friend Maple here, but these more kind of sickly yellows with a slight kind of sweaty sheen to them. Purples and greys, and that nasty kind of rubbery black fungal kind of death cap kind of looking thing through. And you see a collection of makeshift huts and tents and just tarpaulins and things slung between larger fungal growths. And Muruk, are you going to be recognized immediately? And like, how long has it been, and how much have you changed, or what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's probably been, let's see here. It's been just probably 2 years, maybe 3, possibly, but like not that long.
Okay. And how big was Glimholm? Like, is it everyone knows everyone, or was it you would know a few people?
Glimholm was kind of like everybody knew of everybody.
Okay.
But not
But not
everybody
well.
knew everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. That's about how big it was.
Okay. So I think as you move into this settlement, there are curious glances at first, and then you start to hear whispers. You hear the name Dreadcrest, Maruk's surname, mentioned, and you're like, is that the baker's boy? And it's like just little thing kind of surprised things here. What do you do?
Maruk's actually gonna take a glance around to see if there's anybody he actually recognizes.
Okay.
Like, not just be like, oh, I've heard of them. Be like, no, somebody I actually like, I know.
Okay. And give me a perception check.
Guidance.
Oh, good. I need it.
You have 2 crystals at the moment.
It's a 16.
Okay. There is a kind of central, kind of communal area, and there are people coming and going, and people like returning from gathering water from like the more major parts of the routes here, and you actually see. Sorry. The urge to have an NPC called Questlove is too strong. You see Astuto and Thistlesnoot also, you see a raptor of very similar type and coloration to Maruk. And Maruk, moving slowly under the weight of a couple of sealed pails of water being brought back to the house, you see your father, Gru. About 20 feet away.
Okay, so what Maruk is going to do is that when he sees him, he's just kind of go like that stark, still like...
Astuto's gonna follow the gaze and take in the similar coloration, and then look back at Maruk and just very, very, very subtly and gently just kind of give him a shoulder bump, like, hey, you still want to do this?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but that's someone, right?
That's my father. So
Okay.
Maruk is going to just steadily walk up to him, not like directly, but just kind of make his way up to him and not be directly in front of him, but kind of like off to the side while he's carrying the buckets, and be like, excuse me, sir, can I help you carry your buckets?
There is a sloshing sound as a step is fumbled, and a beady eye and long, slightly notched and jagged beak turns. Excuse me, I'm preparing myself. Maruk! I can't do it. I can't go as deep. Maruk! My boy! Is that you?
Hello, father.
There's just a clang as the pails just like drop down, and the wooden beam that was across his back just drops down on top of them, and just kind of it does that leap at you. You know, like the cassowary like
Maruk braces for the hug. Just here it comes.
It's like the cassowary like disemboweling claw leap, but with the wings out instead of the claws, and just like barrels into you. You're here. You look so well. Maruk. Friends?
Yes, Dad. I have friend, Dad.
One wing, second wing, like with Thistlesnoot and Astuto, you just like
What?
and slightly kind of earthy smell on the wings. I think Maple just likes a bid for freedom. Like
Yeah, Astuto, like, he's all about the hug, but there is definitely that moment of, oh, the wing's coming this way, Maple, be over here, and like shifts like into one of, because Astuto has got those big giant ears, so I think he puts Maple into one of his own ears just to keep him safe.
Nice.
It's like, stay there.
You know those like, so elementary school orchestras always have the chimes that are all hanging. You just like run your hand along them. I think there's that every time like Maple moves.
Maple is a delight.
Maple is a delight. Now I can only hear out of one ear, but I don't mind.
and you feel slightly lighter on that side from the pixie dust. And he's like, a pleasure, friends of the boy. Maruk, come, grab the water. We see your mother.
Yes, Dad. Picks it up.
Nice to meet you, sir.
And he kind of like ushers Astuto and Thistlesnoot forward, just like leaving Maruk to grab the water behind him. He's like, come, there'll be a fresh batch in the oven. It's not much, but we're making ends meet. I'm afraid.
And
Thistlesnoot will pick up the beam that he was carrying, so it was water. Was it water on a beam or water and a beam?
it's like a yoke.
He scooped.
Oh,
like
okay.
a yoke. Thank you. Yes. He scooped you and Astuto forward and left Maruk to grab that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
I was gonna
Maruk's
try
already-
and carry that,
he knows the
but
drill.
I guess not.
And
when you guys are being ushered forward, Maruk's gonna be like, all right, Dad. The Thistlesnoot is the jubilant, talkative one over there. And then there's Astuto, the
I think you just get this view of like the back of your father, the two wings outstretched, and then just Mapak pulls out this side and Vulpin pulls out that's just below the wing. Like, everything else is completely obscured.
and Astuto's the one on your left. Guys, this is my dad, Gru.
Pleasure. Come. You must meet my wife.
If you insist, yeah, sure. Wherever.
He insists. He always insists.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, Mr. Maruk, we're here with you.
And you are ushered towards the edge of the settlement, towards the cavern wall, and you could see there is a simple stone structure, like a half, like the lower half kind of foundation, like bottom half of the wall is stone, and then like timber above that, and then there is a squat, short stone chimney that has been put onto one side, and there is a curl of smoke leaving that, and you can see that the cavern wall above it, immediately above it, is blackened by repeated smoke coming out of that. And you smell a bread adjacent aroma,
Ooh, mushroom bread?
yes, he shakes his head. He's like, fungal flour is not the same. It's just not the same.
I hear it has a very earthy flavor.
True. Our recipes improve it as best we can. And you are ushered in, and you see there's actually a small line of other Glimholm folks collecting bread from the bakery. It seems to be a sort of kind of coalition, like shared resources, shared food here. just working together as best they can. And you are bustled in to this very simple single-room space. There are some kind of bedding and cloth-like material, like in a kind of a meringue-like circle, like a nest in one corner. A rough, kind of bit of a shoddy table, like dominating the center, and then the surfaces, a natural kind of rock shelf that's been adapted into a work surface next to a rough stone-built fireplace with scavenged metal things to have trays and baking racks for the meager amount of bread they're able to gather here. And there is a similar large cassowary like bird body leaning over that fire. And Maruk, you kind of are jolted back into your dream as you see your mother silhouetted against the fireplace, like she was silhouetted in the door in the dream. And Gru says, "Brunel, Bree, it's the boy."
And Maruk, underneath his breath, to Astuto and Thistle Snooze is so like, "Whatever you do, don't run. Don't run."
And
Studio just like stands shocked still because like the idea of not running, the idea of running and or not running, both of those options had not come to mind until Maruk said so, and now like
I wasn't prepared to give a description that might induce you to run.
Oh no, see, that's the thing. It's just like relationships with moms are completely different from whatever they look like to everybody else.
Right.
Because to me, she could be the most loving and terrifying woman ever. To everybody else, like, "Oh, she's so sweet. Why do you feel that way?" To me, I could be like, "She's gonna kill me."
Your father says, Bree, the boy, he's returned. He found us. And your mother's head, the long neck just snakes round, and the kind of silhouetted against the fireplace there. No red glow in the eyes. And she says, "Oh, Maruk, my little baby boy."
and he holds up one hand, and he's taking the yoke off, just like, no, not yet.
And there is
yoke off.
Like some of those really interesting bird like courtship dances. They're kind of like moving around, like bent legs, like up and down, wings out, like crests up. There's this similar kind of emotional response to the reunion, and they're kind of spiraling around him, coming in, just Maruk's completely disappearing in wings, and then coming out again and moving around and taking all of it in. And Maruk, is there a formalized kind of like reply to this kind of reunion greeting?
Yeah, usually after she slows down a little bit, Maruk will just like, da-da-da, and then he'll like stop her and just usually like, kind of like get down so he's actually like be able to get under her wing and give her like a deep hug. Yeah.
And there's a little poof of fungal flower. It's just from it's been hard at work all morning. From the early hours, as I'm sure you remember.
And then he feels around in her pockets to see if there's any food.
I'm afraid in these circumstances there is not.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, there always used to be, but not here. And the way times are hard down in the roots. And they all talk like Tim. So
they've all got deep voices.
So when they're talking, they're kind of like finishing each other's sentences and like interrogating Maruk, but it's all the same voice, so you won't really be able to tell. So, what brings you to Oldheart? How did you find us? Or why are you here? How have you been? Did you finish your studies? What is the latest from the Scorched Grove? Have you been near Gloomholm ever since?
And Maruk's just like deer in headlights, just question. And he's like, goes to answer, question, goes to answer, question, goes to answer. Just
just
at which point, as soon as there's just enough silence, he doesn't answer questions. He just like grabs this little snoot and a Studo, just like pulls them in front of him. He's like, "These are my friends, Mom."
This is nope.
And the snoot runs away.
You moved us, and so that was permission to run. And so we're like,
Yeah.
And they deluge you with an equal barrage of questions about how you met and where you're from and what did you do.
Estudo is answering every single question, but then getting interrupted. So he doesn't realize that Maruk was doing the smart thing, and so it's just like, oh, where are you from? Well, I'm originally from this place. Well, no, so I came from over. No, so that's the Maple, and they're my. Well, and so we were. It's just that.
Absolutely. And when it finally kind of loses momentum and kind of peters out a bit, they just splash like rough earthenware cups into those fetched barrels of water and say, "Oh, you must be parched. Please, there's not much. We just tend to perch on the floor."
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, I'm used to roughing it out in the woods, so anything and everything.
So
I tend to perch on the floor too. I just like plump down on the floor.
Maruk, he's gonna be like, "Oh, don't worry about that, Mom. I learned a cool trick." And he just takes his hand and he kind of like waves a little bit. And I use Druidcraft, or should I say, not Druidcraft, Mold Earth to make some like rough seats for everybody. Just kind of like raise up out of the ground.
And they look at each other like, "Oh, you see that? Yeah, so that, yeah, the powers, druid, and they're very impressed. And you sit down and speaking of out in the forest, why have you come in from the forest?
Well, we came from.
We're happy to see you.
Oh, I'd love to see you. But I'm on Tender's business right now.
Ah, you completed your training?
Yes.
You should see him in action. He's so talented. He's the best druid I've ever met.
I've learned a lot from him.
He's wise.
I'm
and
sure he from
gracious
you.
And keeps the balance.
And-
And really scary in a fight. Like he's a good guy to have around. You
Yeah,
chase him.
appropriately scary. They're definitely way better at being scary in a fight. Real good at like getting people to run away instead of attack. It's real nice.
They look proud, and the mother inserts appropriate baking metaphor here about keeping the balance.
So basically, more of the forest is being taken by fire and ash, and we're here on Tender's business to let everyone know what's going on. There's various towns that have been lost completely, like Ashborough is gone now. Completely. It's taken.
We summoned there once, before you were born. It was a beautiful place.
Now it's gray.
It's why we're forced to take shelter here in these forsaken caverns. It is not the safest place, but we keep a sharp eye, and it was the only place left. There are so many refugees here.
Speaking of not safe and refugees, we hear there's some Gerbine that are potentially upsetting some people.
There's a glance between them. That'd be the river shrines.
So, why?
The bird folk up in the canopy, they don't know what's happening down here. too focused on their own problems, too high up, away from everything that's happening down here. They don't understand how many of us and how strapped for resources we are here. There's a reason. There's a reason the Coalition has recruiters here in the Roots. Have you heard?
No. Tell me.
Those who either could not or did not want to come here to the Older Heart, they have gathered for safety, much as we have here, out in the wood. They take what's needed, and only from where it can be spared, if what they say is true. Birdfolk deliveries, caravans between affluent perches. No violence, no killing. Just taking what's needed from those that can spare it. And
See, I figured that was what it was.
So do we know who's in charge? Who I can talk to?
we have been too focused on keeping ourselves safe, the community together here, working with Root Braid. And Maruk, you've heard of Root Braid. It's a thriving small community here in the Roots that is much more colorful, much more established than other parts of the area, and they do a lot of activism and a lot of petitioning of the bird folk and upper levels to. It was them that got the water pumps and the cold light lanterns fully installed down here, and they have a reputation. They look generously on those forced to do things that the Perch Guards disapprove of. And they have been known to harbor people on the run. And there's a friction with the Perch Guard because of that. But things you've heard are very similar to what your parents are saying, that it's just necessity, it's just people being forced by circumstance to do these things.
I understand. We'll stop by and just see how things are.
And you remember the name, the River Shines. It was a Jerbine couple. They had young children, kind of like early teens when you left, so they would be late teens now.
Okay.
And your parents said it was the Rivershine siblings, so these siblings seem to be the Jerbines that you have been told about.
All right. So at that point, after he gets all this information, Muruk's going to basically kind of steer the conversation away and just kind of, be like, all right. Well, and start to tell them, about Druid school and just the little stuff to kind of know parents want to hear. Yeah, I went to school, I graduated, where I've been, what I've been doing, all that kind of stuff.
Astuto definitely sinks a little bit lower in their chair when Maruk is talking about graduating from school, but continues to just stay quiet.
Thistlesnate's gonna get up, and this is one of the bonus cantrips you gave us that is technically an attack, but I'm not using it that way, called Flower Ring. And basically you touch, or you don't touch, but call forth fragrant flowers from an inanimate object. And the attack part is if it's held by an unwilling creature, they can make a dex save to negate it. But if you do it for 1 minute, it will bring forth pollinators. And basically, I'm going to just put my paws on their lintel and give them like a flowery entryway. And hopefully get
Awesome.
some more like bees down here to help them.
What kind of
And just
flowers
make
do
it
you?
pretty.
What kind of flowers do you make?
Oh gosh, I am not a plant person.
I
but,
mean, you could just say colors and things. I'm not a plant person either. I'm just curious.
I'm gonna say pretty colors, but also if I can with the cantrip, some herbs,
Sure.
like cooking herbs
Mhm.
down here. It says flowers, but there's like there's pretty herbs you can use, like lavender, and anything you can cook with that might help spice things up, rosemary and mint and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm just minding my own business while I'm doing this, and Maruk's catching up, and they're like, "Oh, what happened to the door? I don't know."
Yep. And you know, I figure we're there probably like half an hour ish, you know, sometime under an hour, just hanging out, doing stuff, you know, catching up. And then, you know, as the conversation starts to wind down, where it goes, mind if I'm going to go in the kitchen for a minute, Mom. I hope you don't mind. And just kind of walks in.
And Estudo is left there with the parents alone and looks panicked. And definitely there was that moment as you walked by where Estudo's like, Rook, where you go? Wait, where you go?
Don't run. Stay where you are. Don't run.
My spell only casts a minute, so I can come back.
Oh, okay, good. I think Estudo still does that of
Yeah.
like, no, the person talking to the parents is leaving.
I think.
And
yeah.
while he's in there, leaves them alone. He's going to basically like look around and see like, you know, the makeshift kitchen his mom's made, and be like, okay, rubs his hands together, and he just starts like mold earthing the crap out of this thing, like warping the stone, because it says I can do stone and earth and do pretty much whatever I want with it. And I just are like, all right, countertops, bigger stove, all right, oven here, you just worthy of my mom, you know.
Nice,
And then
nice.
I don't even tell her. I just kind of like. I
We
do the thing
finally
I was-
get the home renovations that we've been promising since several episodes ago.
Right. And then I just kind of walk out. I was like, sit back down, drink the rest of my water, and he's like, all right, well, I love you guys. It was great to see you. But I have to, you know, they've got stuff to do, so I've got to go. Right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the
I could
official tender
sing
business.
ya- we could have more of the drum circle if you want, but we should
And
probably
just
go.
Murk reaches over, just kind of grabs the snout. Yeah, we got to go. Love you. And he like kind of puts them both in front of him, kind of like a shield. It's like, I love you. We got to go, and just start slowly backing out of the house.
It was real nice to meet you, the parents.
And they just say, you know, whenever you're free from tender business, do come down.
I will. I promise.
And you leave, and they're in the doorway. The father, you know, raises a wing, and the mother's just collecting herbs from around the door, the lintel, into a little basket.
Once we're far enough away that I think that I can talk without anyone else but us hearing, I'm gonna say, Maruk, your parents are lovely and terrifying, and so now I see where you get both of those things.
I love my parents, but they're so huggy.
I mean,
It
that's
was so warm.
yeah. I mean, you gave us a warning about the hugs, and so the hugs was nice. I didn't have any problem with
It's
the
worse
hugs.
when you run. She'll chase you. She'll hunt you. She'll get you, and then she'll hold you longer.
It's just a reflex.
The predator animal. That makes sense.
I told you,
That's-
don't run.
Yeah, I know, but that's more terrifying, to be honest. That's yeah. Okay.
How do you think I feel? I grew up with that.
Yeah. Well, next time I know you want to hug me, I will know to stay very still.
Good.
So, I was planning while you were in the kitchen. I was gonna play play dice with your family and lose on purpose to see if that would help. But my family would catch me at that, and I'd be in big trouble, and that'd be offensive. And I didn't know if your family would think that was offensive, so I didn't do it. But for next time, should I lose at dice to your family?
That's a bad idea.
Okay.
Good check. Okay, so you head out, and you're gonna ask around and find where the river shines are.
Well, you said the river shines were kind of like known for. Well, there's the place, the organization. I can't remember the name of it. They would kind of probably be around.
The Root Braid, or is this the commune?
The one known for taking in people who may be, down on their luck, but also, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they are members of Glimholm, so they
All right, well then it's just gonna be one of those walk around, and be like, see people I kind of know, be like, just walk up and be like, I'm glad you made it out, just kind of like shaking the hands, kissing the babies, kind of equivalent, not actual, but like,
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Okay, you do that. Everyone make me a perception check.
Sure. Maple, go fly up like a good 5 feet. Okay, maybe 10 feet. And that's me letting Maple help me.
Let's see. Does this work for Maple's movement? Yeah, let's try this.
16 for me.
What's that magic
Too strong.
sound?
It's too
Yeah,
strong.
I heard that too.
That's Maple flying.
Aww, I did not hear it, but I'm excited. 19.
Okay.
Thanks to help.
So 19. Sorry, this is
22.
22. Wow, Maruk.
16.
Okay. So yeah, while Maruk is talking to somebody, Astuto and Thistlesnoot, you see over between a couple of tents a few hooded, twitchy nose, nervous, twitching whiskers, Gerbine notice you and see that you are asking about them, but Astuto and Thistlesnoot, with that perception there, you see them before, and but then you see one who's clearly the eldest of. There's 4 of them there. The oldest of them is like, just turns like, Aegon, Bree, sorry, go! And they turn and dash away from you.
I just look at Thistlesnoot. We probably shouldn't run after them, right?
Thistlesnoot is just going to shout out, stop, at the one in charge and cast command.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh my.
Is there a save?
Yep, it's a wisdom 13.
Wisdom 13 for a
Stop.
Gerbine Thief. Okay. So they got +2, so I need 11 or more.
You'll probably get it.
We'll see. I'm doing it in chat for
I
transparency.
mean,
here.
chat could always give the dungeon master disadvantage.
Oh, dang.
17.
Oh.
She's like stumbles a little bit and shakes her head. She's like, "You'll never catch us!" And they just go running.
And all right, so does Maruk hear that this?
Yeah,
Going
you
on?
were in the middle of talking to someone, but you hear that. And Astuto, do you shout anything?
I think after they say you'll never catch us, what a studio. Well, we just want to talk.
Yeah.
Like your story.
But no, Astuto isn't gonna. Something about chasing these young people, kids, whatever age.
Like teens, yeah.
Yeah, chasing these kids sounds like a bad idea. It sounds like it's just gonna make everything worse. And also, he's not that fast, so no, he's gonna be like, well, they know that we're trying to find him. Hopefully, we can get like a message to them or something. We just want to talk. Brooke.
Yeah,
I
Maruk's
could
not
cast
gonna
sleep
go
on
for that.
them. But it seems more trouble than it's worth right now.
All right, so Maruk is
Maruk, we found
actually burning one of his wild shapes for the day.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
All right, and
Well, Thistle Snoot, I think Maruk has other ideas.
Sirenscape is ominous.
right.
What kind of shape are you gonna be, buddy?
I'm finding it. I'm finding it. Oh wait, I can. There we go. Where did it go? Okay. So, Maruk, as soon as you hear, the stop, like turns around, sees the two, kind of still for a second, and then run off. And you just see this, like, Maruk going from, like, his usual, like, kind of predatory look to just like, and as he does, he kind of, like, his whole body kind of shape shifts, elongates, and grows a little bit. And he basically, how do I put this? He turns into what's called, it's kind of raptor looking. It's called a fastif.
No idea, sorry.
Okay, so all right.
From a big bird into another bird.
He's a medium-sized bird, but he basically has a movement speed of 50. All right, so
Fast feet.
yeah, right, and essentially Maruk is just going to like turn into that thing and just dead sprint, like. And
Maruk, do you think that we're following? Okay.
Okay, well, then we, I think, can officially go into this little skill challenge-esque moment here. You need to get a certain amount of successes before a 3 failures. And so, Maruk, please, the DC for this is a 15. I need an athletics check, please, in this form.
Okay.
Guidance.
Athletics. Okay. Are you gonna guidance me? Okay.
Sure.
All right. Give me a moment. Strength is a +1 on this. So okay. So roll a 20, and that's a 13 plus a d4, 16, 17.
Okay. Right, so you shift your form and go surging through. There's like gasps and cries as people move out of the way, and you are able to keep eyes on these Jerbeen as they flee out the edge of the settlement into the fungal forest that is, wild and like taking over the rest of these caverns here. You see them using their smaller forms to kind of go in between these large stalks and tangled kind of tendrily mushrooms as they make a move there. Asuto, what would you like to do?
So Asuto is going to start chasing after Maruk. Is going to draw his short sword.
Okay.
And you'll watch as he telepathically to Maple, he's going to say, hold on real tight. I've never done this before, but I think I know how. And basically, as he's running to try to catch up, he's going to slam the tip of the sword into the ground and then pull it back out. So there's this loud thud. And then he like stands up a little bit straighter at that. And it almost seems like he gains a little bit of confidence, a little bit of aggressive posture. And the sword itself starts to glow and vibrate just a little bit with a little bit of a hum as he's gonna go into his blade song.
Hey.
Heck yeah.
And this is less about attacking and anything and all the other stuff that happens, but it increases his walking speed by 10 feet. So his movement is now 40 feet.
Nice.
And that was a bonus action. So my action and my movement, I will dash as an action and move as an action. So I'll go 80 feet and just kind of holding the sword in the wrong way. You know how cool it is to hold like something and then have the blade be this way. Yeah, holding it, and he's doing that on purpose because it's still vibrating and it's still part of this song. But he's trying to show that he's doing it for speed, not for aggression.
Maple's got all their legs just wrapped around one ear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, you're never gonna find me again if we get. Yeah, just hold.
As you activate your blade song for the first time, please make me a spell check with your +3 modifier.
Oh no.
Okay. I haven't.
Can I guide you?
Not more than once in a round like this, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kind of semi-initiative kind of thing feel.
Got it.
14?
14. Okay. You start to make the incantations, but it's not something it doesn't roll off the tongue perfectly just yet, right? So it takes
It's the first time I've done this.
Right, it takes a little longer to get just right. It does kick in, and you are able to follow Maruk there, but that is one short of the 15 you needed, I'm afraid. So, but you take the time to make sure that it is cast properly, because you've seen all sorts of terrible arcane accidents from slightly mispronounced spells, and you go.
And I'm kind of making this up as I go. Like, you know, what nobody knows is I spent a lot of time last night rubbing that mud that I didn't use for Maple on the sword, and like that's it's just like, oh, mud, don't fail me now.
But you are able to, yes, that vibration comes into your form, and you are able to move faster and keep Maruk in sight as he dashes ahead. This is what you do.
Oh, I'm not as fast as these two, so I'm just... Is okay. Clearly I don't know this area as well. But does there seem to be a way that I can sneak around? Can I cut them off at the pass?
Okay. Give me a perception or survival.
I'm equally mediocre at both of those. That's an @1, so 4.
Oh. This is just preempted.
I'm gonna use a crystal.
You may use
because
a
I
crystal.
have one.
You do.
And this seems like a
This
good
seems
time.
relevant to use.
Yeah.
Let's try survival this time. Man, still not great. 10.
10. Okay. You say, I gotta cut them off at the pass, and you go like bounding off into the separate direction of through this dilapidated, wild fungal farm. Yeah, and then you're like poking around and saying, guys, where'd you go? As you are making your way through, and then you do hear the sounds of Maruk's wild form just like crashing through the stalks over in a direction. You head in that general direction, but you are falling behind a little bit there. Maruk, back to you. You move beyond this first area here, this dilapidated, overgrown farm, and you find yourself in a natural tunnel. You see the Gerbeans running ahead of you, and there seems to be a natural-looking kind of prop of wood, like up against the side of the tunnel. And as the Gerbeans run past, the oldest sibling in the back, who was like shouting at Thistlesnoot before, just kicks out with a powerful kind of back kick on the leg there as they run past, and you see a bunch of stacked up mushroom stalks, like giant logs, just come like tumbling down into the cavern, into the tunnel, and start rolling down the tunnel towards you.
So basically this is gonna be a log hop, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, how many are rolling?
There's let's see. Nice here. There are 12 of them.
Okay, so in that case, how much? I mean, how big are they? Like how much distance do I have to cover if I wanted to miss all of them?
I mean, they are like rolling down the tunnel towards you, like, and they're across the tunnel. So you need to use something to either leap over them or go up the side or some way. You can use whatever.
Okay.
You like.
In that case, all right, so the wall, is it like a stark, like flat surface, or is it kind of rounded?
It's natural, so there's bits and bobs. Yeah.
Okay, so then in that case, I would just like to still keep going full tilt, but I want to use some of my momentum and use athletics to kind of like on the wall and try to like, martial arts monk my way kind of, to then like.
I'm going to give you the good news and say that that's not your -1 athletics, but it's actually your +5 acrobatics.
Oh, right, acrobatics. Right, there we go. And I kind of wanted to, and then, once I get up on the wall and I like get a little momentum, then from there just jump.
Yep. Okay, so you're trying to parkour up around the edge.
Yep.
Okay, give me that acrobatics check.
All right, here we go. '22.
Nice. Okay, so yes, you managed to leap up in your wild-shaped form onto various little levels of little ledges of rock and outcroppings, and up around as the stalks thunder by and drop down the other side and keep chasing after the Jerbeen. And they look back, they're like, keep coming, whatever it is, it's still coming.
And basically, Maruk forgets he's in his wild shape form because he's still not used to it, and so he screams parkour, but what comes out more is
okay, and you hear them shouting, to the roly-poly, and you Astuto are confronted by these mushroom stalks barreling towards you.
I think Astuto is going to do a similar thing and try to not hardcore parkour, but like dodge around these as he continues to run. And he has started to kind of hum under his breath in harmony with the sword as it continues to vibrate. Because when I'm in my blade song, I have an advantage on acrobatics checks.
Nice.
So acrobatics still for okay. So let's see.
I don't know why. I'm just imagining you carrying a giant bladed tuning fork.
Okay.
And it's a short sword, but it's huge for him. 18.
Nice. So how does this blade song like allow you to avoid these mushroom stalks?
So Astuto's blade song is much more of it's much more of an aggressive posture than you've ever seen of him. And so it's very much like he's running straight at the first one, and then he just dodges to the left, and he runs straight at the next one. And every time it happens, he switches the sword to another hand as though the mushroom stalks were bulls and he had a cape and was moving out of the way just in time.
Yeah.
Continue forward.
Very, very kind of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like wire work, like like
a little bit,
yeah.
But also very much that commanding. You think you're coming after me? Just get out of here. Get out of here.
Tango, but with logs.
Very much a paso doble.
Okay, so yeah, Astuto definitely avoids the stalks. And Thistlesnoot, you kind of claw your way out of a very nasty tangle of mycelium brambles, and still with bits of them stuck in your fur and like around, still kind of one tangled around your ankle. You stumble into the entrance to the same tunnel just as the stalks are coming in to crash into the dilapidated farm. What do you do?
Oh, whiskers. Thistlesnoot still has some pixie dust.
Hey!
So Thistlesnoot was going to make this as a special treat for Astuto, left with no other recourse after her epic failure at cutting people off in the past. So I was just gonna go, well, guess we'll have to get more later. Just takes it out and dumps it on her head, and is going to try and take off like a shot, a dash above the stalks.
Okay.
So she doesn't have to dodge them.
If you're using a magical item like that, that will give you an automatic success. Using up a resource like that. So yes, you just quickly douse yourself and just like it's like kind of legs like over
this
the top.
Feels weird.
like Wendy and the kids when they very first like got Tinkerbell the dust there, just trying to get the hang of it. But you are up and over the things as they crash into the dilapidated farm behind you, just smashing through the rotten fence and snarling up in the other overgrown mushrooms and things there. Maruk, back to the front here. you, having heard them shout to the roly-polies, you see that the tunnel goes into a steep slope in this next section, and there's like a cavern off on one side with almost like a little corral across the front, and you see that there are these giant kind of like elk size, like large, like bovine kind of creature sized, what do you call them? Do you call them thunderbugs or lightning bugs? We call them wood lice.
Lightning bugs for fireflies?
No, the ones that have the segmented back that roll up into a circle when they're
roly-polies.
roly-polies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a pill
or
bug,
potato-
or a doodle bug,
Pill bugs,
Or
okay.
potato bug.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the British name for them is not very nice. It's wood lice.
Ugh.
I know.
Yeah, no, these are no. Ugh.
So yeah, there's basically a bunch of pill bugs in there, and they are they have these kind of like harnesses on them, and when the Gerbine run up to one, the first one at the front just panics and goes into a ball, and you see the Gerbines like pushing it with their paws, and you see when it goes into a ball, it wraps around this harness which like sticks out either side, and then going off the back there's like a wooden sled on behind it, and they kind of push it into that steep decline, and it starts rolling down, and they all jump onto the sled and start hurtling down this tunnel ahead of you. Maruk, what do you do?
How far are they away from me?
This is like a skill challenge, so it's not really. So there is a success condition and a fail condition. So
Okay, all right, because I was like, depending on how far away they are. So you said they've pushed it and they're going down the hill, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so I'm okay, Dungeon Master. I would like to then pose this idea.
Uh-huh.
So since I know they're going downhill,
Scarlet made this emote for me, but I think players get to use it sometimes too. Here we go. Yes, you're saying.
So, I was asking if they're probably, not too far away. I was thinking more along lines of just literally jumping from the apex of the top and trying to land on them.
Okay.
Hence why I was asking, how far away are they? That kind of, that's what I'm asking. But that's my idea. I'm not saying we're doing it yet. Just putting it out there.
Okay. I think if we were going to see how successful it is, that we would make it a contested initiative check. So your dex in this form.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
I'll just dex in my form. Oh, that's good. I get an 8. It's an 18. So, all right, give me a second. Bam. Roll the 20. And 19, 20, 22, 23.
Hey.
You're a fast bird.
I will roll in chat. An 8 makes a total of 10. Actually, let's make sure the kids, the younger siblings, have the same. Oh no, it's only a 9. They're going at the speed of the slower younger siblings. The oldest is a Jobin thief. The younger siblings are merely bandits. So they leap onto this sled, and you just like hurl yourself forward. And so this has a beak. This creature.
Yes,
Okay.
it has a. Let me see if I can give you a better description of this real quick. Okay, essentially think of it kind of like almost a raptor-like mouth, just with not as many teeth and a bit more bird-like.
Okay. So you leap forward and punch your beak through the back of the sled, and are being basically pulled along behind it as they're trying to knock you off, but that was the 5th and final success necessary. And Astuto and Thistlesnoot, you come up to this little corral and grab another of these roly-polies and go sliding down the tunnel after Maruk, who's being dragged behind this lead one, and the Gerbines on this sled. And you burst from the tunnel into a kind of open area at the bottom, and you see around you a large open space with roots coming down through the earth and soil, brightly colored buildings, and a small kind of central square area ahead of you. And you see that you have arrived in the little district of Rootbraid. And as the roly-polies come slowly to a halt there, the Gerbines go, leap off the sled and run behind the long skirts and apron of a very old hedge with a little pair of spectacles perched on their nose, as the leader of Rootbraid, Estira Warmheart, glares at you. Now, what are you doing chasing these little things? And as Astuto and Thistlesnoot come bursting from the tunnel as well, we shall stop there for today and rejoin you in Rootbraid next time. Now, if you had failed the challenge there, they would have arrived ahead of you and been in hiding and away from prying eyes. But you kept up with them, so you are here and you can talk to them directly as we rejoin you next time. A massive thank you, everyone. Everyone who's joined us in chat today, thank you so much. It's good to get those follows in there as well. Thanks for the follows, and thanks for the crystals for the players. I hope you had a nice time with us today, and I cannot wait to come back next week and deal with these Gerbines and gain our forged or legitimate council attendance here. We shall see.
A little bit of both.
Why not both? Yes. So thank you all so much. We are going to say goodbye to these fine people and then head off on a raid. So please stick around and show some love wherever we end up heading. But before that, let's say a thank you and a goodbye to these wonderful people. Maruk, where can people find you on the material plane?
Greetings. You can find me on the material plane in many places. I'm on the TikTok underneath Ludus Rex. I am here every Tuesday playing Maruk, the occasional murder bird. I'm over on QuestJunkiesUK every other Sunday playing Descent into Avernus, playing my wizard, who is just a dwarf who's not a dwarf. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Other than that, you can find me on YouTube soon. There will be some videos popping up here in the next month or so. I'll update you guys on when I do that, but it's coming. Other than that, I have other projects, but I can't talk about them yet. But when I can, I will.
Nice. Links over there in the chat, so give all these wonderful people a follow, please. Thistlesnoot, your good self.
Hi, I'm Jess. All my links are at the thing. Come find me on Blue Sky at wherever, up here. At Unsteely Jess. I write games and I stream them, and sometimes people pay me to do that. And you can too.
Thank you. And last but not least, by any measure you care to employ, Astuto.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. You can find all the stuff I'm doing at my website, lauren-urban.com. But you can also go to the DM's Guild and pick up 33 magic items for your D&D game from a little supplement I just published called Orkira's Oddities.
I saw that. Yeah, it's great.
$1.99. In this economy, I try to keep it real low. Here's a little bit of a taste of what you will get. Of those 33 magic items, do you want magical fuzzy socks? I mean, the answer is yes. You want magical fuzzy socks. I have magical fuzzy socks. Go check
Take my money. Take my money.
It's $1.99 in DM's Guild. Orkira's Oddities for your game and for your home and for your feet.
Wonderful. Thank you. And we are QuestJunkiesUK. We play lots of D&D and other TTRPGs. We will be back at the weekend with Candlekeep Mysteries and Fundelver and Below. And then the other end of the weekend back into Tomb of Annihilation. Absolutely amazing to have you all here. Thank you so much. If you would like to hear what's going on and keep up to date with things, do jump in the Discord. While you're waiting to see the next stream, you can jump over to the YouTube and catch up with some VODs. All of our fun one-shots and previous adventures are there. And we have exciting news coming up about a charity event happening in November, so stay tuned for more news about that. We're getting exciting updates from guests and things coming in, and lots of exciting, all the regular campaigns will be in full flow as well. So if you want the chance to donate to a very worthy cause some shenanigans and have a good old time, then do join us for that. Of course, big shout outs to the lovely tiny logo, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, as we share with you that code once more. Jump in there, play this officially licensed strategy game from Wizards of the Coast, all of your favourite heroes from the Forgotten Realms, and all sorts of actual plays from across the internet, and take this Electrum chest, for it is dangerous to go alone. And you can enjoy all of those goodies in your adventures there. And, of course, please do check out all the fun folks that keep the lights on here and support us in our endeavours. Our buddies over at Trollord Games, all their Castles and Crusades, OST stuff, and the awesome CCRPG, and all the incredible products that they produce, and drop-in encounters and beautiful maps and original things, adventures and the like. And then, of course, we need to find out what's going on, and when you want to adjudicate some of those shenanigans, then get yourself some of those lovely Phoenix dice to get those click-clacks rolling. Lots of beautiful designs over there. And we do have our discount codes for CCRPG and Phoenix Dice, so enjoy that at a discounted price over there. Okay, massive thank you to everyone. Absolute pleasure as always. Where should we head off already in today? Who's on at the moment? Let's have a look. Oh, lots and lots of people. Okay.
This music's a bop.
Yeah, it's fun, right? Okay. Oh, okay. I wonder if it's our felted friends or not. I'm not sure. But our buddies over at Perception Studio, Cucumber, and all of those wonderful folks over there are playing some games. So let's jump in and see how they're doing. Thanks, everyone. Absolute pleasure as always. But till next time, stick around for that raid. If you've got them, let those phoenixes fly. And until next time, as we say around these butts, or you see me the same. Bye.